Well, welcome back. It's been many days since you've had your last video, and so glad to see you guys are back and listening and going to get your points for listening. Today we are going to learn about adding and subtracting fractions with denominators, but what's different about these denominators is that they are not alike. So, unlike denominators. So our example would be, we're going to start off right away, if we want to add 1/2 plus 1/3. But before I start, I want to write one little statement. It's going to help us out when we're doing this because I got a little trick for you. It's called the butterfly method. Okay, now I wrote the statement, why butterflies sometimes make math simple, because it's going to help us remember the steps for trying to solve this problem. The first thing I notice about this is that these two do not have the same denominator. We've got a 2 here and a 3 here, so therefore we cannot add these until they have the same denominator. And so we're going to basically rename them with a different denominator, but there's a shortcut that we can do. And here's how it goes. So let's look at our first word, y. Y reminds us to draw wings. So we're going to draw some wings in, just like this. And just like this. Alright, then what we're going to do is, with the wings, it tells us that we're going to multiply 3 times 1. So I'm going to make a little antenna right here, and an antenna right here. And on this side, I'm going to do 3 times 1, because look at the diagonal, 3 times 1 within this wing, and that's going to give me 3, and it goes there. Now looking at this diagonal right here, okay, we're going to do 2 times 1, which would result in 2. Alright, so we just took care of the first part, which is y. Now we're going to do the butterflies part, the b. The b is the body, so we draw in our body right here, and we simply multiply the two numbers that are in our denominators, 2 times 3, and that's going to give us 6, so it goes right there. The S means, so we did this with our body. Next comes the sign, okay? So let's write these steps out. 1, wings. 2, body. 3, sign. So we have to look at our sign here. It's going to only be adding or subtracting. We're going to move the sign up. So right here we're going to put add because that's what's down there. So see that I added to my sign. Now that means we've done S. We now do the first M, which is math. Alright, so 4, we're going to simply add right here the 2 and the 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. That's going to be a big number on the top. And then, so that was our math. 5 is move the denominator, so it stands for move. Okay, we changed the denominator now to 6. It's simply going to go over there to 6. And then last, and that actually goes with the word, is simplify. But I know this fraction is simplified as much as it can be because there's not a number that can go into 6 and into 5. So that's the butterfly method. Now I kind of went quick, but I want to show you another example. I bet you can do it. We'll try subtraction this time. Alright, now we're trying to solve 7/10, and we want to take a fourth away. And again, the first thing I notice is that the 10 and the 4 are not the same. So that means I'm going to have to get those so they have the same denominator. So I'm going to start my butterfly. And remember, why butterflies sometimes make math simple will help us remember that we draw in our wings first. So I'm going to draw my wings. And they go diagonally. And those are the numbers that are going to be worked diagonally. Drawing your antenna. Alright, I will start first with the 7 times 4, which is going to be 28. Okay, over here is 10 times 1, which is 10. And then we've done the wings part, so we can just kind of check it off. Next we'll do the body. That's drawing in the bottom part here. And that's simply multiplying the two denominators together, giving me 40. Okay, that's the body. See how quickly this actually goes? Next, we're going to do the sign. I notice the sign is subtraction, so I'm going to put that. That's just simply moved up here. You don't have to draw the arrow, but just so you know where I got that. So that's our sign. And check off. We're now going to do the math. The math here is hard to see, but it's actually, I'll write it over here so you can see. 28 minus 10 is what's in the antennae. So I'm going to do that math, which is going to be, 18. So I will put equals, and then I'll put the big number 18, and then down here, I did the math, and now I'm going to move the denominator of 40 over here, so that's going to be 40, and then I've got to do simplifying. Now I do notice that both of these numbers are even, so they're definitely divisible by 2. So let's divide by 2 here. Divide by 2, and I get 18 divided by 2 is 9, and 40 divided by 2 is 20, and I'm trying to think here. I don't think that those, one is odd and one's even, so they're not divisible by 2, and as far as I know, the only numbers that are 9 are, or the factors of 9 are 1 times 9 and 3 times 3, and none of those are factors of 20 because 20 are 1 times 20, 2 times 10, and 4 times 5. None of them match, so therefore this answer right here is the answer to our subtraction problem. When you take 7/10 and you take away 1/4, you're going to end up with 9/20. Alright, we're going to do one more example, and then we should be done with the video. Okay, now I'm just going to quickly tell you what's really kind of going on here. I didn't do it before, but this is an easy one to do it. When I'm looking at 2/3, I've got 2/3, and I notice that neither one has the same denominator. One has a 3, one has a 9. So if I were to draw this, it's going to look like this, and 2/3 would be represented by the shaded area. Alright, now I'm going to pause it just a second so I can draw in the 1/9 for you. Alright, so this is what we're really talking about. And it's kind of hard to combine them right now because they're not cut in the same size pieces. So you would have to go back and make the 2/3 into 9 pieces because we can't combine the 1/9 into making those littler. So what we're going to do is we have to actually cut the other one like this. And I don't know if you guys caught my mistake here, but I only originally had colored in 1/3. I actually should have 2/3 colored in here. 2. This would be 2/3 like this. Right now, it's comparable. So I'm really not adding to these, so let's get rid of this guy because you know it's 1/9. And then in order for us to really see what's going on here, we would have to take away a 1/9, which we could do. But butterfly method is much faster than drawing all this, so let's get going on the butterfly. Alright, so we're first going to do our wings. So draw your diagonals in. Draw your diagonals in. Now you can pause the tape and see if you can do it yourself and then check it after I've done it. Alright, so we know that we're going to do 2 times 9 on this side. What's that? 18, good. On this side we're going to do 3 times 1, which is 3. This is a times sign. Okay, now we're going to go on to the body. Make a little body. And this is going to be the denominators multiplied together, which is 27. Okay, did that. Sign, the sign is subtraction. I see that right here, so I don't need to do the arrow this time. I'm going to do the math and the top, which is 18. If you can't see it, it's 18 minus 3, which is going to give us 15, and that's what this big number is right here. Okay, and then we're going to move the denominator over, and that goes over there, so that's 27. Finally, we're going to simplify, and to do that, neither one is even, so 2 is out, but I know for a fact that 3 goes into both of those, but let's go ahead and write the factors of 15. They are 1 and 15. I'll do a little T-chart here. 2, not at all. 3 and 5. 4 doesn't go in. 5 does, 3 times. And then 6, 7, 8, and 9 are out. So those are crossed out. Right, 27, I'll do up here. And the factors of 27 are 1 and 27. 2, it's not even. 3 and 9, 4, no. 5, doesn't end in 0 or 5, so it's not. 6, no. 7, no. 8, no. 9 and 3. So what's common between these two is 3 and 3. So I'm going to divide the top and bottom by 3. And then when I do that, 15 divided by 3 is 5. And 27 divided by 3 is 9. So if we had gone back to our drawing, you would see that indeed we had 5 shaded of our 9 in our pie piece once we took the 1/9 away. But our butterfly goes much faster. So if you had 2/3 to start off with and you subtract 1/9, you're going to end up with 5/9 left. And that's it. So make sure you copy the notes, either write them down or print them, and then also do the questions at the end. So I know you watched it. Have a good night.